Yo, 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 welcome back everybody to Moment of Truth. My name is Taven Bellamy, and today we're going to talk about changing your life with three specific topics: mindset, environment, and social. All right. First and foremost, I want to just make a quick disclaimer. I'm not an expert in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in business, which I had to do a little bit of psychology, a couple of different courses on it, as well as I took psychology in high school. So the things that I talk about are not necessarily medically backed, outside of some of the different facts and things I know about how the brain works, right? But I just want to make that disclaimer. And from there, we're going to move into our topic. So, the first thing I want to talk about is mindset. And it's so increasingly important, even especially nowadays, with so much distraction in the world, that we take control and we take real power in our mindset and our ability to change our mindset, right? The ability to change your mindset puts you at leverage to change your environment and to change your social, which are the other two major players of this, I guess you would say, this pyramid or trifecta of how it is that we live our lives, how it is that we are able to go from success to success to success within a blink of an eye, right? How we're able to generate something from nothing without having this overbearing fear that someone's out to get us, or that we're not good enough, or that we can't do it, or any other kind of immobilizing thought process pattern, or mindset, right? Our thoughts do not define us. And I just want to make that very clear. Our thoughts don't define us. However, our thoughts can become inhibiting or immobilizing to us when we keep agreeing with the thoughts that are pushing us backwards, right? We keep agreeing with these thoughts that are not allowing us to evolve, they're not allowing us to grow. The I can'ts, the I won'ts, the I don'ts, the all of these non things, right? I don't do this, I don't want to do that, I don't like doing this, and all of these things, and it's very judgmental, very non growing, non learning, right? I don't really know another way to say that, but that's all right. So it's increasingly important to understand that you control that. You don't control your thoughts, but we do control our reactions. So when we're starting to get thought processes, when we're getting into something new and it's starting to pull us back and tell us, you don't know this, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you don't know enough, you don't have enough experience, and whatever else may come in, right? In those moments, we need to be able to retrain ourselves to think the opposite. We need to make those emotions, make the negative emotions or the negative thoughts that are driving our mindset, that drive our perception, we need to take those and make those into positive triggers, right? We get negative thoughts on a regular basis. You can't stop negative thoughts. They're going to come. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, it's part of balance. We have to have them. You can't have a theoretically good thought unless you theoretically have a bad thought, right? So, because if all thoughts were good, then no thoughts would be good, right? It's that thing of perfection. Perfection is imperfection because nothing can be truly perfect, so it's always imperfect, or whatever. Take that as the same concept with your mindset, right? Your mindset's never going to be perfect, but it's always a work in progress. Your thoughts are never going to be perfect, but they're always a work in progress. You develop new thoughts with new experience you have. So if you're experiencing new things, you're always going to consistently improve the quality of your thoughts, right? But here's the issue: when you're not focused on improving your mindset, when you're not focused on improving yourself, when you're not focused on improving your overall perception of life, right? Getting energy from life, becoming immersed in these environments and situations, you're not going to have different thoughts. You're always going to be feeling insane with these same exact thoughts because you're having the same exact experiences, doing the same exact things in a different date in a different outfit. That's it. You have to take control of your reactions to your thoughts. And that's the key to taking control of your mindset. Because when you can take control of your reactions to your thoughts no longer control and dictate your actions and emotions. Your thoughts just become thoughts, and you can filter through as need be. You take the thoughts that you accept and match what you're trying to do, and then you take those and you continue to develop and grow. Stop agreeing with every single thought that you have as if you know everything or your brain knows everything in the world, right? Because it doesn't, it hasn't experienced it, right? And take it as these are all learning lessons. These are all things that I can do and that I can evolve on and grow on, and I can build a foundation from, because the foundation that I have right now is not working for me. And that's the issue, right? Whatever I'm doing right now, whatever my problem is right now, it's not working. So I need to be able to go to somewhere else and go somewhere else in my mind and find the processes that work, find the value, find the overall confidence in myself, and to accept myself and accept my mindset, right? And change my mindset so that I can start feeling better about things that I want to do, and stop beating myself up and allowing my thoughts to immobilize me, and allowing my overall perception of how I view life to be a lack of mindset, right? So take control of your mindset. That is step number one. You can't do shit without it. Everything is based around what you think and how you perceive things that unfold in front of you, life, right? How you perceive that is how your life will play out, essentially. But you can change the future because the future's not written, right? That's common saying. So use the time that you have to stop beating yourself up and stop making yourself feel like you're not good enough, and stop making yourself feel like you can't accomplish something because somebody else said you couldn't, or because you're telling yourself you can't because you've never done anything like it before. Like, step out of that. Like, just forget it, right? Just leave that shit in the past, because you're a human, which means you have a brain that works similarly to other humans, which means that if they can learn XYZ, then you can learn XYZ. It's all about figuring out how to learn it the most effective for you. Moving off from this, step number 2, you got to fix your social environment, your social surrounding, or your social influence. Any or, doesn't matter which one it is. All of them are all the same thing. Your social outlet, right? Your social outlet is comprised of your friends, it's comprised of your business networks, it's comprised of your partnerships, your acquaintances, the people that you conversate on, the pictures that you like on a routine basis, the commenting that you do back and forth with people on social media, the kind of conversations that you have in the DMs, the kind of conversations that you have with an average person that you don't know, like at a grocery store or something, right? Like, what are these social interactions? How are they affecting you? And how can you improve them? First things first, the golden saying of you are who you hang around, right? Let's just take that into consideration first and foremost. If we're trying to achieve something and the social group that we're in is not achieving that specific thing, or are not even in any kind of line to achieve, right? Just in general, they're probably not the right group to be kicking it with. The simple topics come down to hard decisions. Hard decisions are not hanging out with people that you used to hang out with, right? Not talking to people you used to talk with, not talking how you used to talk, not acting how you used to act. And that's hard because it's change, right? And you can't just do it. You can't just jump into it and be like, all right, here it is, 100%. This is me, right? It's a process. You can do it like a cold turkey, I guess, a quick 180. But you're gonna have to work through things, right? And that's part of the process. So it's not so much that you have to be extreme and now you have to be this person, you have to be this image, because that's the wrong way to look at it. Changing your social environment is reconnecting the dots of value between who you talk to and who you spend your energy with, and what it is the direction that you're trying to go to. The issue is that most of the time our social environments do not jive with our personal environments. I've noticed this a lot in my own social environments and people I used to kick it with, and groups I used to hang with, and just over time. And it's crazy because there's been so many of them, and there's been so many different kinds of groups and types of it, and it's like there's no way I'm not evolving. It continues to get better. The people that I'm associating and talking with and being around are doing positive things. They're doing motivating things and things that you can conversate around because the context makes sense, right? If you're a business owner of a nail salon, right, and you have a bunch of friends that own nail salon businesses, you guys have a lot of context to talk about. There's a lot of things that are similar. But if you're you're a farmer and this person, is a, I don't know, something, right? A cashier. There might not be so much to talk about. There's not a lot of context, right? Put yourself around people that you want to be like. Put yourself around people that aspire to be like you or to do things you like to do. And put yourself around people that challenge you. Really, put people around you that motivate you and push you and make you feel loved and appreciated, but uncomfortable sometimes, right? Not in a weird way, right? Not in a weird way, but just in the way of what we want, positivity, right? Get that positive push. We want friends to tell us when we're fucking up, because you don't want friends that just are always like, oh yeah, everything's great, you're doing awesome, and in real they're just, they're talking bad about you behind your back, or just sending you negative energy, and it's like, we don't need that. So change your social setting and your natural mindset will improve. You'll stop being strongly influenced by your social environment, and it allows you to detach and just to come back whole, right? So that in itself will help improve your mindset, on top of you already exercising your mindset exercises, right? Meditation, squaring away your values, knowing what you're looking for, knowing where you're headed, knowing what you're trying to do, changing your perception to not see everything so attacking and bad, and just understand that things are okay and everything's going to be okay, and you just have to figure out a plan that works for you, right? And then you change that social aspect. You stop hanging out with negative influences. You start getting, even just having and motivating people around you that you maybe think are slipping, right? Pull them up with you. You have to turn your back on everyone, right? I like to pull people up. Now there's a point, right? And we'll just hit this real quick. There's a point when you keep pulling up that rope and it's either you or the rope, right? And sometimes some people don't want to be pulled up, and that's okay. It's very crucial for you to take the time to understand that you may not be hanging out with the right people, and the reason you're hanging out with the people you are hanging out with is only because of your behaviors and your perception have given you that frequency that has led you into their frequency. Right. Change your frequency, that will naturally change, and then you willingly change that. Those things will complement each other. And step 3 is like, okay, this is one of the ones that it's your environment, right? It's one of the ones that it's kind of a hit and miss. It's like a 50-50 if it needs to be extreme or not. But by all means, by anything, it doesn't matter if all three perspectives, if all three of these aspects of your life, these factors, right, these areas, your main mindset, your main social setting, and your main environment. If your environment is not included in the change one way or another, whether you're in a new city, a new something, right? Just anything environment-wise, which we're about to discuss, none of this is going to work. And I'm going to tell you why. If you do not change your environment along with changing your social setting and your mindset, most likely, in a very, very strong probability, your environment is going to influence you back into the same things that you have been doing. There are some different caveats, I guess, or if, ands, or buts about this, because you can change your mindset and change your social setting and still strive in the location geographically that you're in, right? But when I talk about in your environment, I don't so much only seclude to your geographical location. Your environment is comprised of many things, right? The geographical location of your environment is very, very predominant in the fact that if you live in the same neighborhood, in the same city, in the same state that you've always lived, or the same street, right? Like, that's going to be your mentality. Maybe you should move out of the city into the country. If you're always from the country, maybe you should move from the country to the city, right? If you're always in one of those areas and you don't like the area you're in, maybe you should go take that chance in another area. You don't have to move that far away from home, but maybe you want to move states from home, or just an hour from home, right? And it doesn't matter what state you're in. You can be in Florida, Mississippi, like, just go somewhere else that's not familiar and get familiar, because you don't always want to just be familiar with the same things. That's being comfortable. It's complacency, right? So your environment can really, really strongly influence complacency. Your environment can really strongly influence negative behavior or just self-doubt, because you're always seeing the same things and your mind may not think it's growing. Your subconscious may not think that you're growing, because it's always exposed to the same results, the same input, same outcomes. It's the same. It's insanity. Right? Get out, move around, go do stuff, go see things. Take a fucking month vacation if you need to, right? Change your environment. Change the kind of information that you're putting into your head. This is another big thing of environment. Your contextual, your information absorption, right? What kind of content are you putting in your mind on a regular? Is your social media feed in your environment? Is your Netflix account? Is your TV's or whatever streaming site? Are these filled with anxieties? Right? Are they filled with things that cause anxiety? You got to stop allowing these things into your aura if they don't match what you're trying to do. And I'm not saying that you can't watch things like this, but again, it comes back to balance, right? We have to have balance. If all you're watching is things that give you anxiety and cause your emotions on a roller coaster on a regular basis, like, you're always going to be an emotional wreck, right? And the TV show or the movie, like, it's up and down, up and down. You don't know how to control your emotions because you're just watching all these emotions happen in such an instant moment. It's like, holy shit, like, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm angry, all within an hour and a half. It's not healthy, right? Especially if you don't have control of your emotions, you're never going to know what to do in a situation because you're always going to just look for that dramatic moment, that dramatic event. And I feel like that's why so many people have this issue with change, is because we're so asphyxiated to how movies and TV shows work that we're always just looking for this dramatic moment. And it's like, bro, that's not how life works. It's not. You're not going to have a dramatic moment changing your mindset. You're not going to have this dramatic moment, right, where the whole climax scene changes. It will be that, but it's not going to be as dramatically Hollywood as that. So overall, your environment is everything that you allow to surround you. In your city, in your state, in your county, zip code, don't matter what it is. Your social media accounts, things that are on your phone. Do you have motivational things on your phone? In your house, do you have motivational quotes maybe posted up somewhere or going on something, right? Is it organized? Are you clean? Are you a person who likes to take pride in taking care of yourself, taking care of your stuff, right? If you don't have these things in order, your environment is messy, then you are going to be messy. You can't have a messy environment and be a clean person. Your environment is going to influence you. If you always walk in your house and it's always dirty, you are going to be a naturally unorganized person. And if you're not unorganized, then you're always going to have anxiety because your environment does not match your values as a person. That's why you see people who value organization and people who value cleanliness, their houses are nice. They're clean. They're organized. There may be some stuff, maybe some kids got some toys on the floor, but they're clean houses, right? Where you see somebody who's disorganized, you see somebody who's not in tune to being on that path, right? And their houses look like pigsties. They look like hoarder houses. It's disgusting. It smells. There's weird shit. There's stains. Like, it's nasty. And you can tell because their environment is influenced by who they are, and they are influenced by their environment. So balance in this game is so essential. It's so important because if you don't have a good mindset, you don't have a positive and motivating social circle, and you do not have a clean and friendly environment that matches your values and displays and allows you to absorb things in your environment that complement your social and your mindset, you're never going to be able to change what goes on in your life other than being able to change the stresses that happen. Because the day is going to be different and the clothes are going to be different. So naturally there's new emotions. It's like a new scene in the movie, right? A new emotion. However, you don't have control. You have no control over it because it's just happening. It happens. What do they say? You can research this. 40% of your daily activities are subconscious. They're automated, autopiloted. You're not really doing them consciously. You're doing them subconsciously. 40%, that's almost half of everything you do in your day. So from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, half of your day is autopiloted from things that you have inside of your mindset, your social, and your environment. Those influence your autopilot, right? Your processes and patterns influence these things. You want to change your life, the first thing you need to do is change your mindset. The second thing you need to do is change your social setting, period. And the last thing, but one of the most important in the connect the dot piece that you need to do is change your environment. Thank you guys so much for joining Moment of Truth. My name is Taven Bellamy, and I'll chat with you next time. Peace.